my name is Krishan, and welcome to my channel, A Lifetime Gift, where I read children's books about God, breastfeeding, and some of my son's favorite books as well. As you notice in the title of this video, I will explain why I created A Lifetime Gift and how I came up with the name. So let's get right into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with my how. How did it come about? So A Lifetime Gift was created because I combined my passions together. One, my love of God and wanting to share Him and share His love. Two, educating people about breastfeeding. And three, teaching children. So as I mentioned in my intro video, I shared that I am an internationally board certified lactation consultant. But if you would have asked me 15 years ago what I thought I would do with my life, I would have told you I would have been a teacher, an early childhood teacher. My background's in early childhood education. So that's just what I thought I was going to do with my life. But as you can see, God had other plans and took me down another route, and now I'm in the lactation field. And I don't want to make this video too long, but I don't want to go into too in depth. Maybe I'll make another video about that. But even within being in the lactation field, I still had that passion of wanting to teach children. And so as you can see, that's kind of how this came about. I noticed that there aren't many breastfeeding books, but there are enough. And I wanted to highlight these books, but also teach children about breastfeeding through these books by also highlighting these authors who have chosen to write about books about breastfeeding. But also I knew I wanted to incorporate God in my channel, because I feel like we're living in a time where that we are growing very far from Him, and it's so important even at an early age to invite God in and get to know who He is, and just to have a relationship with Him. And so that's how it kind of came about, just putting all my passions all together and doing it through children's books, which is another thing which I'll talk later in my goals, but another thing that I want to hope to instill in children: the love of reading, the love of books. So that's my how. So my why, my goal, my mission, what I hope to get out of this channel are four things. Mainly, and I did discuss a couple of them in my how, but I'll say them again because I really hope that these things come about. So number one is that like I said, I want children to know about God. I want them to know that you can start that relationship now, even as a child. And I truly believe it's even better when you start out that relationship as a child, learning who He is, and also knowing that He not only created you, but created you with a purpose, and that you are here for a reason, and specifically at this time for a reason, to fulfill that purpose He's placed on your life. So number one is just letting children know about God through these storybooks. Two, breastfeeding, of course. So I want to educate children about breastfeeding. I truly feel as though that the only way, not the only way, but one of the major ways that we will really be able to normalize breastfeeding is by teaching the children and letting them know that this is just another way that moms feed their babies, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so with that, I thought that using children's books would be the best way to do it, because there's a variety of books. I will say that I feel like a lot more books are now using more humans, whereas a lot of the older books were all about like animals, and which is great. And I will more than likely read those books on this channel. But I'm happy to see that there's a variety, also variety in color as well. So, we always know that representation matters. So I'm hoping that through this channel, we can normalize breastfeeding by teaching children, educating children that breastfeeding is normal and it's another way to feed a baby. Three, the third is, as I stated in my how, is that I want to instill the love of reading, the love of books into children. It's so important to read, to have that love of reading. And that's something I instill in my own children by making sure that we're reading books and trying to figure out what they're interested in and try to find books that relate to whatever their interests are. So I'm hoping to do that as well with my channel. And fourth, I want to highlight these authors that have chosen to write about books about God and books about breastfeeding. I think it's amazing that they have chosen to write on these topics. And once again, like I said, I just want to highlight them and hopefully bring attention to their work and support them. So those are my reasons, or really my mission, my goal with this channel. And last but not least, I wanted to explain how I came up with the name. So like I shared, I came up with this whole channel by combining my passions together, but it really was put on my heart from God to do. But with that being said, I also knew that I needed a name so that I could start. So I knew I wanted to do this channel, but I also knew I needed a name. And I remember praying and praying and praying, like, okay, Lord, you've given me this, desire to want to create this channel. I'm going to have to come up with a name to start. And so I prayed and prayed and prayed. And it wasn't until one morning getting ready to get out the door, and it just came to me out of nowhere. I was talking to him and I was just like trying to come up with ideas as far as names for this channel. And I was talking about gifts and talking about lifetime, that breastfeeding is a lifetime gift, and, trying to incorporate all my three passions, because at one point I thought this channel was just going to be straight about breastfeeding. But like I said, I wanted to make sure that I did include God in it. And so it's like, how can I come up with a name that included all of the things that I wanted to highlight? God's love, breastfeeding, and then also being able to teach children through children's books. And so that's where a lifetime gift came from, because these three topics, God, breastfeeding, and having that love of books and reading, are all truly gifts. And not just gifts that they're lifetime gifts that will truly last a lifetime. Having God in your life is truly a gift. Having the opportunity to breastfeed, the opportunity to give breast milk, is a gift. And of course, having that love of reading, knowing how to read, having access to books, all of those things are truly a gift. And so that is something that I felt all these things had, where I could use the name a lifetime gift, because they are gifts that will last a lifetime. And one thing I did fail to mention, which I'm still trying to figure out and do, because I talked about access to books, is that I want to do giveaways for the books that I do read that are about God or breastfeeding. I want to give away those books. I still have giveaways. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. I'm still learning YouTube, and I'm still working on my blog and how that works out. And of course, I need subscribers and followers to be able to give books out to. So once I pick up with that and just understand how to work all this out, I do want to have giveaways for these books, because like I said, I want to also highlight and support these authors that have created these wonderful books as well. So that is my why, that is my how, and that is how I came up with the name A Lifetime Gift. So I'm hoping that this video gave you some insight on my why and how I created a lifetime gift. If you're interested in learning more about me and this channel, once again, you can check out my blog, alifetimegift.com. And also you can like and subscribe and follow me on this journey on this channel. I hope to see you next time.